Okay, so in this video what we're looking at is a spreadsheet that I put together that I use for sourcing my products. This spreadsheet allows me to cover every single penny spent and also to give me an opportunity to really get this information together fast. So at the bottom you've got manufacturing, freight costs, other costs, monthly fixed costs, marketing, a dashboard, VAT scenarios and sales forecasting. I'll start to work my way through these, but we start with the manufacturing tab. Obviously we want to get pricing, so generally you want to know what your pricing for your product is, but also what it's going to cost to send over the samples and the breakdown of that. So what you can do is you can complete the information in the yellow cells. This is for inputting data, and it allows this data to be automated. You'll see as you work through the sheet it kind of updates, and it'll update your costing. So for instance, if I've got a sample here and it's cost us $30, you can see $30 plus the $60 plus the payment fee. So what I've allowed for it also here as well is when I say every penny is that you've got maybe PayPal costs that could be £2.43, $2.43, sorry. So there's still a cost, and so it's very easy to get blind to all this because all these like little percentages start to add up. So I've allowed for those as well. So for instance, you may have a sample delivery cost of $60, but they may have the sample in stock, which means they won't charge you. They might give you the sample for free but charge you for shipping. So you can change that too. So obviously that brings that down. You can change your percentage. So on here it's 2.7. As you see, as I double clicked, it's just rounded up to 3 because of the way I've got this set up. But you know, you can change that to 2.2 for instance. So you can see it's changing there. So I'm just going to put that back to 3. Okay, now this is like a master panel here. This is for your cost per unit. So you're asked your manufacturer and it's a 285 per unit based on FOB. On 1,000 units, that will be your total unit price. Then manufacturing 2 allows you to break out your costs individually for printing on your barcode, for stickering and other different items that you may have. I've left some couple of cells here free to name as you please. Then you've got inspection costs. If you're using inspection, which I'd advise to do, you've got places like Asia Inspect. I think they charge about $300. They are your safety net. It goes into the factory. I will do your inspection. Let's just say that you pay them your 30% standard upfront TT, and then you pay them the 70% after your inspection and after the goods have got a bill of landing. Okay, so you may use a sourcing agent to get your first free quote, so that's $50. And then you've got your manufacturing. They might be there to help oversee the manufacturing for you, so they could end up being a cost. So what I do is start to tot up the costings all together from the above. And then you also got obviously your payment fees, which again could be any percentage what you want to adjust for yourself. You can see the payment fees, and then it's going to give you the total in dollars. Okay, now we've got that total in dollars, we can go over to the website here, look at the exchange rate, because obviously you want to convert this back to sterling. You're doing all your business in dollars to buy in China, but you just want to get a general idea here. So you can look at your currency conversions that here I've put into the spreadsheet. And so what I've done is I've now pushed that into a conversion at 1.53, let's say, and that will what the rate will end up being back in sterling, and then that will appear up the top here in the dashboard. Okay, so the second one is your freight costs, where you're going for air or sea. So in here you want to be able to go, first you obviously want to go and get your tariff code for your duty. So duty percentages can range from 0, you know, this one here says 2.7%. So you put your product code in here and your category, so you know what it is, and then you can put your duty percentage in here. You put in your cost of your goods, your cost of freight, your shipper forwarding costs, gives you a total cost. Then you can add in any additional fees on top. There's so many variables here before you hit the VAT. So each shipping company is going to give you different information. So what I've done is I've added an extra here for other costs. So you may want to just mute this down to 0, normalize that, and just use this box here on VAT. That can keep it simple as well. If we go to here, you've got other costs. So your photography costs, your barcodes, your shipping, your labelling. So even if you bought scales and tripods and measuring tapes and all these different things, they could be added in as a cost here. This is broken down into their unit prices as well. You've got monthly fixed costs, so you might want to add another section to this spreadsheet here and work the calculation out over 2 to 3 months. You've got your marketing costs here, so you might have landing page software and hosting costs if you go outside of Amazon. I don't bother with it at all. I just turn on my Amazon PPC and go aggressive with that and work that down as a unit cost here. And then as you get into the dashboard here, you've got your total manufacturing, your freight, all your other costs. These all start to total up. Okay, you can see these are all based on 1,000 units, and now they're subdivided down per unit. In this box here, what you would do is you'll work out your FBA fees. This is obviously an important metric. So what I would suggest to do, if your product's not listed, find something that's very close, put it in there, ACIN into the FBA calculator, and drop that in. You've got your marketing costs in here as well. Also, just to let you know, I've put in all fees that are based on VAT. This is really important because I've got a VAT scenarios here which you can read the information yourself, but basically what it means is giving you a breakdown of what are the benefits if you're not VAT registered and if you are VAT registered, or if you're starting out and you don't need to be VAT registered or don't want to be just yet until you hit the VAT threshold of that period of that year. Then obviously you can decide of how you want to go forward using the VAT scenario. The important thing of the VAT scenario here is that you've got to remember that if you decide that you're not VAT registered at the beginning, you're putting in your VAT keys cost as a product cost at this stage. Okay. Now, any adjustments going forward on your product, let's say you go VAT registered, you've got to hide that VAT fee inside of your unit price. Yeah, so it won't be $12.99 plus VAT. It will be the VAT is 20% on the inside there. So if you do start having to deal with paying VAT and generating extra costs on this, then in theory you're losing 20% on your margin to a point. Obviously things can be shifted around, just to be careful. So have a look at the VAT scenarios here, and obviously this breaks down into a P&L of your costs and it tells you what your margin is. Here is a sales forecast, so you can say you want to target 25 units a day at that unit price. So let's just say you want to go down to 10. That's £37 a day, and it shows per month and per year based on that product. If we go back to dashboard, again you can play with the item prices. So you might say, well, hold on a minute, I'm not making enough money. 27% is not to be sniffed at, but you might say, I'm not making enough money on this product. I want to make this a premium product, and I think I can get away with optimizing my price to say $15.99, which takes it up to 41%. You can also got here to allowance for giveaway copies. So this adjusts here. Okay. So there's no fixed, hard and set rules here. This is just basically a spreadsheet that I use to play around with to get me underway. But it's almost like getting a visualization quite quickly of your costs. So hopefully you guys will find it useful.